Hey scrappers, if you're looking to figure out what materials you should sell this week or hold this week, now is the time to do it. Our weekly report is going to give you that information, up-to-date market news, pricing. Let's get right into it. We'll talk about it inside. Scrappers, Tom here, and today is Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. Gonna get my numbers together here. Hope everyone is doing well. First and foremost, our heartfelt wishes and prayers go out to the people in Israel and really anyone around there that's being affected by the horribleness right now, which we'll talk about how it's affected scrap prices, but just hope that everything settles itself as quickly as possible. There's no good answer there, but we're not going to answer questions about like scrap being produced there. I know that we talked about this in Ukraine in the past, and it's just bad news. There's metal everywhere, and unfortunately it's bad metal everywhere. So we'll talk about that and how that will affect some of the scrap prices. But what we've seen in the last week, right here we are in the fourth quarter of 2023, and I just don't see good stuff, right? If you ask me, Tom, is the market going to go up? Or do you think I'm a big no? I have a sell recommendation on every single item that I list every week. Not only just the ABCs, aluminum, brass, copper, steel, catalytic converter, stainless, all of that I would sell. I would sell everything. I'm personally moving as much material out of my warehouse as possible, as quickly as possible. So unless you plan on holding things for a while, I just don't see an upside happening right now. We have copper prices where they've started to come down. We've seen these markets dropping consistently while we've seen minor ups and downs in the last few weeks, right? They're more minor ups and more major downs, with copper prices down 30 cents from kind of the 390 level we saw. We'll pull up some of the prices right now, and you're going to start to see these red numbers creeping in, bare right below $3, steel prices declining. More copper prices, roofing copper down. So we're seeing these markets dropping, declining, and it really shouldn't come as a surprise. I read an interesting article earlier today, actually, and they were talking about electric vehicles. They were talking about renewable energy, and they were talking about the demand of copper. Now, what have we said for the last couple of years? Oh, copper demand is going to go up. Now, personally, I think that clean energy is really great. I just don't like the transition that we're going on. I think that it's happening too fast from fossil fuels. Why do I say that? Well, now other people are seeing that as well. You're starting to see the overall demand for energy continuing to have between a 7 and 9% annual uptick, right? Which means if you needed a million watts of energy last year, next year you'll need 7% more than that. So, 70,000 watts or whatever the number ends up being, right? You need on top of that, and we're not able to produce renewable energy as fast. Why is that important? Well, we talked about the demand of copper. We talked about the charging stations. We talked about solar energy, wind energy. But if we're going to have those things slowing down, the demand on copper is going to be decreased. And I looked at a chart this morning that showed last year, the demand for copper outpaced the supply. This year, we're about even. And next year, there's going to be an oversupply of copper. Go to oilprice.net. There's going to be an oversupply of copper next year. That's going to outpace the demand for copper by about 20%. And that 20% is going to really start to decrease the pricing on copper. I just don't see it. I don't see strong markets. I don't see go up, go to, I know we're doing this live. We should have done, go to news, breaking news. Yeah, right there. You'll find it there. You're going to start to see copper demand decreasing because we're just not going to see that renewable push. I mean, look at the cars right now. We're seeing Ford talking about them losing $2.5 to $3 billion of money this year on electric vehicles. When you see Tesla making money and you see, other EV makers losing money, it's just not there. The demand for copper isn't hitting. The demand for electric vehicles, isn't hitting like they thought it would. And even with all of these incentives, when you have inflation that's happened, go up, you have problems for the market. So I really don't see a lot of good for 2023 or 2024. I just don't see a lot of uptick. I hate to say this, but I will, and you're going to hear me say this a lot. The presidential election is going to be the bellwether of where the market's going 25. But that's a long way away. And that's why I continue to have a sell grade on these things. So other things we want to talk about. We had a bunch of people that helped us out last week, helping us. We had a pricing error, and people in our social media circle, our Facebook group, helped correct it on number 2 copper. So thank you. So if you ever see errors inside of iScrap, let us know. We'll absolutely get on those with our development team and fix those. But what we've also seen is a lot of people talking about kind of the end of the summer season and the air conditioners and the compressors and things like that. And I just want to remind everyone, while I might not talk about the price of sealed units week over week, or the price of ACRs week over week, we have those prices available. And what's really great is we have all types of videos showing you how to separate these materials. We have videos showing you how to take them not worth money. We have blogs on our website. So if you're ever looking to learn more about that, and before you go to ask a question, just ask us or look at our website. I'm going to pull up a couple of videos that'll show you just taking an air conditioner apart or what's in the air conditioner. And we have a lot of this content built so you can learn from it and just help you make more money. Going to our YouTube channel, going to our news page on our website, bunch of really just good things for you to be able to see how to take things apart. Also, when you talk about sealed units or compressors, those are items I wouldn't take apart. Here you can see a video of us taking an air conditioner apart. I'm just going to show you some of the tips and tricks on what to do. Of course, number 1, make sure that refrigerant and oil is drained. You don't want that going out into the environment or on yourself. But what you'll see here is just a quick glimpse of all the things, but things like electric motors and sealed units, 2 items that you're going to really get a lot of if you're taking apart air conditioners. Those are items I continue to not take apart myself, and I don't recommend doing it. We've had videos where we've shown you how to take electric motor windings out, but again, time versus reward. If you have time during the winter, sure, go ahead and do it. The sealed compressors, people have cut them and taken the top off, kind of cracking like an egg. Again, those are things you can do. Maybe not something I'll go after, but here you can see some ACR prices, dirty ones, $1.27, clean ones running that $1.47 to $1.50 range. So the ACR ends 60 cents a pound. I know many of you will take the copper off the ACR ends, which is more than acceptable. You can make money, but again,
we have a video coming out for that soon.
Okay, so we'll show you just a couple of tools, couple of rules and tips on how to take the ends off of those. So check that out. We'll have some videos coming out, and a lot of the members only on our YouTube channel have been getting videos pushed to them on nickel prices and other stainless markets over the last few weeks. So check that out. And our members only are also continuing to get free first access to our auto wrecker series, which is coming out, showing you, tips and tricks on how to take cars apart. So if you're looking to get that information early, YouTube membership through iScrap is a really great tool for you to have. And on top of checking prices, posting prices, etc., things like that. So let's circle around and we let off a little bit of the Israeli problems, right? So here's what I saw happening from kind of a 10,000 foot view above. Last week we saw oil prices decrease by about 5%. Yesterday, we saw them go up 3.5% because what do we see? We see problems happening in the markets worldwide, energy-wise. I read an article talking about how the demand for gas is going to continue to increase because we're going to see more people driving these, these combustible engines, and we're going to see the oil prices going up. We now have two relatively new conflicts. You have Ukraine, you have Israel. That's going to affect the market. So that's going to be one of the things that we watch for in the next few weeks and months. So what does that mean? Steel prices have gone down, right? We haven't seen that anything good there. We did see gold prices increase, and that was more of a bellwether because people like to invest in items like gold, silver, when you have conflicts that could affect things, because what's going to happen to the United States is we're going to start shipping out more and more products to help Ukraine, to help Israel, and that is going to affect some commodities. Nothing huge, but these are things that we look for, right? So gold prices up, and then when you go other precious metals, we've actually seen platinum and palladium have increases over the last week. Catalytic converters, we thought that the average OEM was going to go below 80 bucks. That didn't happen. We're still like $81, which is good. And that's really because of the increase of the platinum prices. But catalytic converters continuing to be a very stale item. I don't see any increase in that. The only sign of life I could say that we may have is if the electric vehicle push starts to go backwards, which it could next year. We could start to see more combustible engines going out there with higher emissions controls. So that may increase the demand for catalytic converters. But with the auto worker strike continuing to go on and grow week after week, I think we're in the third week, that's a huge pull on the commodity side of things when they're building those cars. If you're not building as many cars, you're not going to need as many precious metals for the catalytic converters. You're not going to need as many metals like aluminum and steel. So, everything is interconnected when it comes to commodities. So these are more things that we look at. Let's talk about something 3 weeks in a row that has hit 1 year lows, and that is nickel prices. Nickel prices 3 weeks in a row have now hit 52-week lows. We're seeing the price of nickel decreasing. We're seeing the price of stainless decreasing. While we see some prices here, that 28 cent a pound number on 304 stainless, that's really kind of where the numbers are right now. 28, 30 cents a pound. We're not seeing big stainless prices right now. Look here, 25, 30, 29, 30. That's a number. And you're talking about Indiana. I don't know where Parkersburg, US is. I obviously missed the state, but New Jersey, Illinois, North Carolina, you see all of these different things, and you see a 30-day change of 17% down, which aligns with the nickel prices decreasing. I had an alert yesterday, nickel prices down again. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can make a third video talking about how nickel prices are down, but here we are, and they're down, and stainless is going to be affected. And unfortunately, you're just not going to see any type of recovery. I know a big processor of stainless down in Port Newark, and they are moving as much as they can, as quickly as they can, but they're just, there's not a lot going on with it. They're having hard times making sales. And all of a sudden you have another conflict in the Middle East where a lot of materials are getting refined. So now you're talking about shipping routes potentially having problems. So we got a lot of issues right now, and we're just trying to work our way through them. We just don't have a lot of good answers on them. Other things we talked about, it looks like a lot of people have talked about brass in the last few weeks. I love brass. It's a great item to learn on. If you're really looking to make money on brass, here you can see brass prices averaging about $1.87. And then if we can scroll down a little bit to red brass, 231. These are strong numbers right now. I think that red brass will be decreasing slightly, but we have some great videos on YouTube that you can check out differentiating yellow versus red brass. I actually gave a lesson yesterday in my shop to a couple of new guys on what to look for red brass versus yellow brass, and how the color is very apparent when you use a file and you go on it. But brass items right now, we've seen a lot of people talking about them online, and things you want to look out for. You got these faucets out there that now have more plastic in them. You have these old lamps that look like brass but might be die cast. So it's not easy. a scrap secret sorting your brass and your bronze or your red brass. And we'll kind of show you just a glimpse of what it looks like. But again, another video that we have available on YouTube for you to be able to see some of the different metals that we sort and separate, the faucets, the red brass. So check these things out, because we're going to be able to give you a lot of tips to help you make more money when it comes to your brass scrap. And I always talk about the ABCs: aluminum, brass, copper, and steel. And these 4 primary alloys or metals are exactly where you're going to be able to upgrade materials from. And by watching our videos, subscribing to our newsletters, you're going to learn more about all of those things. So don't forget, later this month, our YouTube members are going to be getting first access to our Auto Wrecker series. It's going to be the first of 2 Auto Wrecker series that we do. This one focused on a hybrid vehicle. Our next series is going to be more on combustible engines. So make sure that when these videos come out, you ask us questions, so the next round we can have those. By joining, you're going to be able to see these videos early, as well as lots of other news tips that I put out there every single week to our members only. We've also seen a lot of people going and shopping on our site, getting safety shirts, getting hats and cases. So if you're looking for new stuff, please shop.iscrapapp.com. Lots of new shirts. We got a couple of them that are going to be running out by the end of the month, not a little earlier, and we're going to have some new stuff filtering in and out. So check this out. Things shipped directly to you, nice and easy, and they generally get shipped within 3 to 5 days of purchasing them. So it just, nice little thing. I saw a few people buying stuff this morning, which was nice. Other than that, scrappers, I mean, I hate to say this, but I think the next few months you're going to hear me repeating a lot of the same topics, and they're going to be: steel prices are down, nickel prices are down, cap prices are down, not going anywhere for a while. Copper, probably, I still think that we're trading around 360 for copper. I think we have 30 cents coming off by the end of this year. So, when I give you my recommendation, I'm still in a sell mode. And you want to check my warehouse out, it would say exactly that. We're moving things in and out as quickly as possible. But continue to ask us questions, continue to comment online, get quotes from rrcats.com. Check out rrcarbide.com. We have quotes on there for carbide and other types of rare earth alloys. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. Until next week, scrappers, ask us any questions and we'll answer them, and I'll scrap you later.
Thanks for watching our video. For $2.99 a month, by becoming a member, you can get access to early videos, member-only videos, merchandise discounts from our store, and priority comments that we answer before answering any other scrappers. Click the link below to learn more. Until next time, scrap you later.